going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in. Today, I wanted to make an update on Bitcoin because uh, in my time, it's not the 31st, but the chart that I do use on Bitstamp to see the price history, price action of Bitcoin against the US dollar has printed a new monthly candle. And October is now in the books, and it was a very good month for us, October 2020. We almost got 30% gain against the US dollar, and we were successful in closing up to or extremely near the last monthly candle high that we've had in Bitcoin's history, which would have been December 1st. So, uh, when we let me flip it to the BLX. Um, the monthly candle close was 13,899, and we closed, or we're about to close, at about 13,816. Uh, the BLX hasn't. It does take longer to print the candle, because it is taking the information from all the other exchanges and making it into an index. So we have yet to see the exact number, but I would say that we're pretty confident in knowing that we're going to be printing a candle up to the line. Like, I would say that's fair. Earlier today, we did hit $14,000. We actually went above it, and on Bitstamp we went as high as $14,100. So technically, we made a new high for the year of 2020. However, as great as this is, and you could say it is like symbolic in a sense, or quite in its significance that way, this does not change, or at least does not change my overall outlook of the current trend. This doesn't change anything. Um, it is it is what it is. The trend has been going up anyway, so it would have been a matter of time when we would make these newer highs. So this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Doesn't And it shouldn't surprise you, and you shouldn't change whatever your plan was if you had one, just because we made it a new high. Um, I would say, for all the people that are making this to be the second coming of Christ, uh, I would say take their advice with a grain of salt, as you would with mine. However, so what does this mean going forward? Uh, well, it has not changed. In the few previous videos I made, was in regards to Bitcoin's dominance and its relation to altcoins doing well. As you can see here in the past few weeks, I actually don't know. This is an insane wick. I was checking throughout the day, like what caused that, because even on the total market cap chart, there's a giant wick to the upside. So I don't even know why that was the case. If anyone knows, uh, let me know, because I'm honestly very curious, and I think this is just like bad data, but it's printed. However, um, I mentioned that we are going to the upside, and when Bitcoin's dominance goes higher, altcoins tend to do very badly as well. It's one indicator on measuring the health of altcoins. And this is in due part because of Bitcoin's very good rally in the past few weeks. I mean, in the past 4 weeks, we've gone up, like, yeah, 30%, which is amazing. And is when Bitcoin moves this hard, the altcoins are left in the dust. Um, and this is the due cause of this increase in Bitcoin dominance. Um, However, looking at the chart, we're very near the line, but I wouldn't say we're there yet. Like when we saw, when we touched it here, there's definite contact here, and there was contact here. You can make the argument that in the month of September there was no contact. Um, However, let me bring it daily, and we could take a look. I put the like the percentage difference actually there. Um, okay, so as you can see here, there was not much of of contact uh, in September. However, it was like a half a percentage difference in between the resistance and the candle and the wick. So when looking at now, now we're not quite there yet. It's not. We're about 1.5% away from. Yeah, we're about like ish, and sorry, like 1%, and 0.24% away from the line of resistance. So we still have a decent amount to go. I know it looks small, but when you're talking about market cap, you're talking about like millions of dollars in difference. So there's a good ways away until we can definitively say like if it's gonna hit that, is it gonna then reverse? Because that theory has not yet been proven yet for this go around. Like we can only assume because the last three times it's happened, there's a good chance that it's gonna happen a fourth time. So what does that mean for altcoins? Well, with Bitcoin, this contact could be made in one of two ways. It could be Bitcoin continues its bullish run for the upcoming week or 2 weeks, and two, Bitcoin gives us a red candle. Something like what we saw like here. So if we look at September 3rd and we go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, oh, sorry. So where was September 3rd? So yeah, September 3rd we gained we were going up on Bitcoin dominance. So as you can see, when Bitcoin gives us a stark reversal to the downside, altcoins against Bitcoin are going to suffer, and that's gonna then cause the Bitcoin dominance to increase. So call it what you will. It seems like we're slowing down, kind of. We're getting more red candles. However, this hit to the upside at above $14,000 was interesting to see. It's going to be difficult because it could be whoosh, go up, it could go down, and we could test $12,000, or it can actually go like this, which I think would be best for altcoins. Now, here's something to consider. Because Bitcoin has been so bullish, let me bring it to the weekly here. We're quite above the 20 week moving average, and we if we like bring out oh, if we bring out the um, distance to moving average and set the parameters so we can see it visually, we can see that we're 26.29% above the 20-week moving average, which is what I would consider our bull market line of defense. Um, we could actually move down and then start moving sideways, and that will essentially kill two birds with one stone. For one, We get our big red candle to the downside. That's going to get alts to bleed. That's then going to increase Bitcoin dominance and probably give us just enough to hit the trend, like to hit this line of resistance. And then Bitcoin can then afford to move sideways. And when sideways actions happens for a long enough period of time, like we saw in August, in this range, as well as before that, from May to July, uh, altcoins will rally, and then we're gonna see like what we saw um, in this pattern here, where we saw altcoins really rally. Bitcoin was moving sideways, so dominance eventually goes down. So that would be kind of like the best case scenario. I've been saying this for the past week of how I want Bitcoin to move sideways because um, that will give Ethereum time to rally. It'll give Link some upside from the most recent like downtrend. It would probably help Uniswap because if altcoins are rallying and Uniswap is going to be one of the main altcoin exchanges used, then Uniswap token is going to benefit. Another thing to look at in the macro scale, because I had it already set up, and it's something that's interesting to watch, is just kind of like going on the monthly chart because I feel like the monthly chart really gives us the macro view of Bitcoin, um, compared to like looking at the daily chart, for example. And God forbid you're looking at the hourly and trying to figure out macro changes in price. Um, Let me get rid of this. So as you can see with the MACD, we've been momentum has moved to the upside since June, and we're continuing our way up. This could be much like what we saw in the previous move here, where it's really hard to see. But you see at the beginning, right when we crossed the 20 month, but the 20 month doesn't really matter. But it seems to line up pretty well. That we started to gain real good momentum, and because Bitcoin did drop, this was one of the first crashes of Bitcoin where it moved from was it $1,100 to like yeah like $200. Um, it really started from the bottom, from below of on the MACD, and then really moved up, and nothing really stopped it. This could be another replication of that, and we're starting to see the very very beginnings of it. Mind you, we did see it here, and this was I remember when Bitcoin in 2019 did this rally, it really looked like it was going to take off because of MACD momentum, and it just slingshotted up. But we didn't get to see that, unfortunately. Um, just want to bring up also the RSI. Um, and you can see that we're still in under 70. We're actually at 64.96. So we're still very much in underbought territory in respects to um, we're still within, we're not in oversold territory in regards to the monthly candles of the RSI. It's when we really get to like in the 90s, like right here, is when we start to see um, Bitcoin become oversold. And it's quite interesting to see because it lines up pretty well to the peaks of the cycles. Um, and I know no one really cares about the bear markets anymore because it seems like we're very far away from it. But it seems like at around 44, on the RSI indicates the bottom where we're really in quote unquote underbought territory in respects to the RSI and in respects to Bitcoin. And that lines up when we're at $4,000, and it lined up when we're at $200. So the next stop in terms of RSI is where we are right now, when we're pretty much at the cusp, the line that some would argue the last line of resistance in Bitcoin's price at around $14,000, because that's in 2019 that's where we peaked at around, and in 2017 that was the peak of that bull run. So we're seeing it right here. Oh, seeing it right there. And we'll see what Bitcoin does in November. Hopefully, November gives us some sideways action, because that will, if sideways action happens for the month, then really RSI will start going down. Essentially, it'll start trending downwards, but it's hard to say. We can even flip this to the weekly to see how RSI is acting on the weekly chart, and yeah, you can see it's more, there's more action to that. It's I in my opinion, RSI is I think better for Bitcoin on the monthly chart. It's harder to read when it's really spiking up like this. In my opinion, I'd rather with the weekly, especially in a bull run, I really like to use the 20-week moving average, as well as the percentage difference to the weekly MA to decide what the local top is before it decides to retrace. I suspect in the previous cycle you saw Bitcoin move to like 40 to 60, to then at the very top it was like I think 120% above the weekly moving average. I would say that we're not going to see that those kind of percentage points, but I would say like 30% above the moving average is a good place to start taking like short term profits, because this could be like one play you can do. You could just sell at the peak of the local top, then buy back in at the weekly moving average, and then rinse and repeat. And you could do that 4 or 5 times, and you'll make quite a good of money. But again, it's risky, because then at any point Bitcoin can just go through the moving average, and then you're screwed, and you would have to sell at a loss. But that's all I really wanted to talk about today. Bitcoin hit $14,000. Everybody clap. But that doesn't necessarily change anything in my view of current macro trends of Bitcoin. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button down below. If you really liked the video, hit the subscribe button down below. Let me know your thoughts on what November has in store with Bitcoin and in altcoins. I'd love to hear them. Take care.